Okay, I'm making this video for John Abel at johnabel.com who asked about old objects. I've got some of my old coins here to clean up with our metal tile and grout cleaner. And this you can use on your brass buckles as well, John. To give you an example how it works, I've got these coins. I don't know how well they're going to work. I'll choose the darker one here. I'm using kind of one as the contrast. These are old copper coins, of course. I'm just going to let the cleaner do the work on that and put it back in the glass. I hope I'm filming this right. I don't have a cameraman today. But you should note on when you're cleaning old coins like this, this is a 1917 1 penny from England. One thing I don't know is if that affects the value of the coin, and we'll have to ask a coin dealer about that. If anybody's a coin dealer watching this, it'd be great to drop a note. The safe acid in here won't etch the surface, so we're going to have different levels of reaction and there's different times, and we can of course make it stronger if there's like bulk historical things, but it's only for trained contractors. Basically I'll just dip this in here, so we just kind of get a half dip. You can see the head on the coin. I'll just put her down. And so it's going half, and I'll zoom in there a little bit so you can see what's happening to these coins. Oops. See what happens when you don't have a cameraman? Anyway, as you can see, the side of the coin is starting to brighten up quite considerably. This is not to be confused with money laundering. And this older one here seems to be, it's coming up, but it's taking a little bit longer. If you take a new penny, or a newer penny, I think that one's 1947, and different pennies or different coins will react in different ways. There's one from, this is a US penny, and you can see actually, here's one I did earlier. So interestingly enough, the copper content seems to react much quicker. So you'll see in brass, brass with higher copper content compared to zinc is going to have a much quicker reaction. Oh, let me zoom in the camera a bit there so you can see it a bit better. And another example we could use, another coin here. You'll notice I'm looting my old coin collection. Here's an old 1967 maple leaf dollar. And let me just slide that into the mix. And we'll put a little bit on there. Again, try to do a half. I don't know what metal this is, so we're going to have a different reaction with each one. Just again, trying to give you the half mix. This one, again, this penny, this was 1947. Seems to have the worst amount of material on it. Now, of course, if you're scrubbing, this is going to come off way much quicker. And it also does work on silver as well. This is a 1972 US $1 silver dollar. So I'll slide that into the mix, and we can see now that I don't know if it'll be as bright enough, but we're going to see. You know, again, each material is different, each metal is different, but all you're doing here is you're removing the oxidization. So again, I recommend, John, if you're looking at a before you go into historical objects, it's best to check with somebody that's a coin dealer to see if there's going to be any effect on their value. And of course, I wouldn't use any abrasive type materials, scrubbies. You want to do it chemically. Well, you can see that's interesting. This one here is having a slower reaction. You can see how much it's come up quite a bit. Maybe I'll just do a half there. I'll do half of that one as well. This one came up the quickest, but it's a different type of oxidization. Now you might have seen the General MacArthur video where I did the old the brass windows, or not windows, portholes, which were, God, hadn't been cleaned for ages. And that required, in that case, nothing would hit it. And that required that I make a much stronger solution. So you know, if it's a historical brass restoration and you've got years and years and years, you might need a stronger solution that we can custom make. But again, it has to be trained applicators. I'm not selling this to just anybody. I want to know that they have some competence. Because as it stands, you can see this is a metal tile grout cleaner. It is very, very powerful. I mean, normally to do something like this, you'd have to soak it in lemon juice for a week. Oh, this one's coming up very nicely. I mean, you see the contrast there. So let's look at this here. I'll just wipe that side down. There's your first one. That's quite a bit of contrast. And I hope that's coming up nice in the camera there. But and our first penny here, our King George penny. I mean, you can see that that's that's an amazing difference. I could scrub a little bit more and get that out. And the trick is, oh, there's the other side here. I mean, that's night and day. Again, I could scrub a little bit more and you know, leave it on a little bit longer, but it's video, so I want to go quicker. And there's our first penny. Oh, it was just the gunge on the top. You can see it was just getting the gunge out, so it was actually through a lot faster than I thought. This was the other side of that. So you had your original contrast, of course, there. Now let's look at the silver dollar. The silver dollar, from my eyes, under the camera, you can see is much, much brighter. I don't know if you can pick that up on the camera, but it's not a great contrast, of course, with copper. So anyway, the trick here is basically you're just removing the oxidization, and yeah, that's pretty much it. Oh, one of the things they do, especially if you have anything, your water, when you just wash it off, you're going to have no more reaction. But you can take the oil lift product, which is the exact opposite of the metal tile. This is in the alkaline scale, and if you spray it on the surface afterwards, what's going to happen is you've neutralized any of the acidity. So that applies when, you know, just even if you're using lemons. Now to seal the product afterwards, we made a special solution. We're testing it right now. We don't even have a brand name for it, and it's a chemical shield. So we're going to set it up, and I'll do this in future videos. And what it does is it'll seal the brass. It puts an actual acrylic coating that you can't see. It's completely crystal clear. Oh, actually, I'll spray some on the silver dollar. As you can see, it just goes on as a coating, and I'll just dab it. But basically, it puts a nice film on there, and it stops all of the oxidization, and that actually cures into a polymer. We sell this for putting as chemical barrier and as anti-graffiti coating. So that might be something of interest to historical people. It should be ready by February. And we can coat pretty much anything. I had one lady coat her walls because her kids like to draw on the walls. So she coated them, and then she can wash it off afterwards. And the oil lift with a trigger, you just spray it on when you want to take it off, and it just dissolves. So you could coat your roof or your walls, or people buy it for cement trucks and things like that. Anyway, so that's basically the idea, and you can see how it works. And again, you know, you can put it on longer, let it wait, let the chemical do the work. But don't use any abrasives in this application, or any delicate brass or stainless steel, because you'll scratch them. So it's really a chemistry issue. So anyway, John, I hope that helps and answers your question. Oh yeah, if you're in the UK, we're working on setting up for distribution in the UK, and you can, right now we can send it by post, which is the most inexpensive. It takes a bit of time, and we do subsidize the shipping a bit. So drop me a note, and I'll drop a note on email, and we'll hopefully we can help you out. So I hope that answered your question. Talk to you soon.